These two English flutes come from a private collector. They are around 200 years old and both were made by Clementi & Co. They are very simple flutes, one concert flute in D and a fourth flute in G. Both are made of boxwood. The concert flute is of higher quality with one silver key. Oddly enough, the ivory ring on the head shows different discoloration than the rest. This may suggest that the head or the ring is not original, although in case of ivory many factors can impact its aging. The ivory cap is missing from the instrument. The fourth flute has one brass key and its ivory cap is broken but repaired. Its head is bent strongly, right where a huge knot is located near the embouchure hole. On both instruments the embouchure hole may have been tampered with. First, we had to dismantle the instrument. We took the threading off and removed the head corks. On the smaller instrument, the head cork and the cap were glued on, so it took some effort to take them apart. The keys also had to be removed. The one on the D instrument came off with ease, the other one, well, not so much. We carefully cleaned the wood and the ivory parts and oiled the instruments. There is not much to say about this process, so while it gets done, let's talk a little bit about the manufacturer of them.
Muzio Clementi was born on January 23, 1752 in Rome, the son of a goldsmith. His talent for music was discovered at a young age and he had successful concerts in London before he was 20. He toured Europe, played for Marie Antoinette and also played a musical contest against Mozart, although the latter wasn't very impressed of him. In 1798, he took over the company Longman and Broderick, which at the time was on the brink of bankruptcy. The company was first called Longman, Clementi & Co. number 26 Cheapside, but after Longman retired, it was renamed Clementi & Co. The company established an additional shop at 195 Tottenham Court Road. Over the years, it went through a series of name changes as his partners left the company. Clementi retired in 1830 and the company was renamed Collard & Collard after the remaining partners. Clementi died in 1832 in London. Clementi & Co. was famous for its pianos. Clementi also invented improvements for them, many of which became standard. The company also published music. They had an exclusive contract with Beethoven, for example. Clementi & Co. offered a wide selection of flutes, from the simple one- or fourth-keyed models they call German flutes to the high-end professional flutes, including the popular Nicholson's improved flutes. The flutes we are working on, based on the catalog link in description, are both what they call German flutes. The bigger one is German flute, made of boxwood, tipped with ivory, concert flute model in D with one silver key. The smaller one is German flute, made of boxwood, tipped with ivory, fourth flute in G with one brass key. The name fourth flute indicates that it is 1/4 higher than the concert flute. These simpler flutes were not ideal for chromatic playing, so different size flutes were required for different scales. The D concert flute is the deepest, the rest are named after how many steps higher they are compared to it. Interestingly, Clementi's catalog also offers voice flutes that are suggested to be lower than the concert flute. There is no indication of its tuning, and even after talking with people with more knowledge about the flute history, we have found this instrument nowhere else.
With the cleaning and oiling done, we put new threads on the tenons. We also polished the keys. The key on the D instrument had a modern leather pad on it. We changed it for a more authentic version. Interestingly, the concert flute's key is supposed to be silver, but the part where the rod goes through is actually made of brass soldered underneath the silver plate key. both keys received a layer of felt covered with leather. The brass key of the smaller fourth flute was very difficult to remove as the rod holding it was very low quality. We do not know if it was an original or a replacement, but it was beyond repair, so we had to make a new one. As it was not a standard size available in stores, we had to make a one from thicker wire. We have this little tool lying around that we have never used before. It is a small draw plate, bigger versions of it are used on draw benches. The small ones are used mainly by jewelers for drawing silver or gold wires. We got this particular one from an old watchmaker's toolkit. The process of drawing makes the material denser and harder, so between every step it needs to be annealed. Although it is a very small diameter, it was still very physically demanding to draw. The new rod is much harder than the previous one and can be removed without damage. We also replaced old head corks. While the cap of the fourth flute was fixed by someone, we wanted to make it look a bit nicer. The gluing was not very attractive, and leaving a piece of metal in it was also not very professional looking. First, we had to remove the old glue. Here you can see the little piece of metal that looks suspiciously like the tip of a blade. This video cannot really show how long it took to remove the old glue piece by piece. We used a hose clamp to make the cracks as small as possible while gluing it back together again. We tried epoxy glues multiple times, preparing the surface different ways, but they did not stick to ivory. Since ivory is not a material we work with on a daily basis, we asked a more experienced colleague and were advised to use AC glue as it sticks to ivory better. During one of the test fits in the hose clamp, a part of the cup broke off due to tensions in the material. In the end, however, this made it possible to glue it back together. Ivory is not a very thankful material because it is very difficult to work with and the results are sometimes barely visible. With the cup done, the instruments are basically finished. With the original parts done, we also made a new artificial ivory cap for the D flute. The difference after the repair is a lot more visible on the fourth flute because it was in much worse condition. If you liked what you saw and are interested in more woodwind repair related videos, please give this video a like and subscribe to our channel.